So your average customer, how much is that worth to you versus a dream buyer like what you just landed?
$3 million. This was a very large account. This account was 20 times our average.
That's a good one. Hello, everybody. Amanda Holmes here, CEO of Chat Homes International. And it is my pleasure to have Ashish Shanker, CEO of Motilal Oswal Wealth Management.
Motilal Oswal Wealth Limited.
Over the entire company, Motilal Oswal has 2.2 million happy customers, just to give you an idea of how wonderful a span and reach they are in India, doing financial services in every different aspect, right? A brokerage, wealth management. And today we're going to talk about wealth management and how you have been so wonderful to adapt the dream buyer strategy. Thank you so much for coming on with me.
It's my pleasure, as we've benefited a lot by working on the ultimate sales machine strategies over the years. So really a pleasure to be with you today.
You had said that you had won a larger client than what you normally win. How did you find that this would be a good dream buyer? Because this is really the first step that majority of businesses miss, is they can't even identify the first step, identify who their dream buyer is. So can you walk me through that decision?
We have a general map of who our customer should be. Time to time, we keep scouring various media platforms and creating databases of dream buyers that we'd like to serve over time. And we decided to run the dream buyer program on this database.
Wow, that's really interesting. How many do you have that you decided to lead this campaign? Was it more like 100, more like 10? How many roughly were in the campaign?
We targeted about 200 names. Start by, the power of reciprocity, as I call it, where you keep sending some small token, some small gifts from time to time, and keep reminding them that we are here to serve them in case they need us.
Well, what were some of those gifts? I'm always curious to find out what people send.
Oh, very, very nice things. We sent a small Rubik's cubes.
Yes.
The Rubik's Cube, yeah, we send those small ones, and then we send certain mementos, small tokens, gifts of appreciation. We sent a pen, a nice pen with their name on it. So we did multiple rounds of gifting as well as letters. As the book says, you have to pursue it with pig-headed determination. You can't give up. So we said, let's run it, let it run the full course. We did it for 2 years.
Wow. How often were you sending those out? Was it just whenever you'd think to do it again, or was it more methodic?
It was methodical. So we said we will send something every 3 months. The best part is once we onboarded this customer, he called Atif saying that, I've been receiving these letters and small gifts, which are very nice. And I've always had you guys in my mind. And now that I have some cash flows, I wanted a wealth manager to come and present to me. So that's how we got in touch. Once we onboarded the customer, I actually asked him, what prompted you to call us? So he said, look, you guys kept sending these small tokens and gifts over so many months. And so, of course, my wealth manager tried reaching him out. But at that point in time, they told us that, look, we're currently not interested. But whenever we are interested, we'll definitely get back to you. So he stopped following up, on phone. But we kept sending these reminders, as I call it. So he said the best part is, look, you guys kept sending stuff to me. But once I told you that please do not call and follow up, you didn't follow up. There were no calls. So he said, that's the best part. You didn't hassle me. And then when the time came, he actually called us and set up a meeting. So that was amazing.
Wow, that is an interesting piece because people always ask that. They've asked me to stop calling, should I? Wow, how fascinating. Oh, I love that. And another thing that you said that I thought was interesting was that you find them through the news. I haven't heard that yet. that you see them in the headlines of news?
What happens is there is somebody in Atif's team, right? The client engagement team, as I call it. What they do is every day in the morning, they look at different media platforms. So we have a media platform where all the venture capital deals are reported. Then you have the traditional, the newspapers. There's always a lot of news about successful people, and these are our dream buyers. So there is somebody who actually scours many media platforms and puts together potential customers. We try and reach out to them. So, for example, if someone has won an award, then we would send a congratulatory note. Depending on the profile of the customer, it would go out from my desk, or it will go out from one of my senior wealth managers' desk, congratulating them and sending them something like flowers. Or
that is really interesting. I think that that's a good realization for those that are listening as well. Where can you find the people that you're trying to get a hold of the step before they're deciding that they need you, right? So you are identifying the step before they then raise their hand and say, I need a wealth manager, right? You're looking for people that have just generated a lot of business, which is very smart.
Absolutely.
Very smart. So for those that are listening, how can you find the people that you need to serve the step before they then decide that they need to work with you, right? Was there anything a part of the messaging that you felt you had to change with this particular strategy? Did you follow any of the educational based marketing approach?
So you relate the gift in some way to what we do, right? So if you send, so we used to send these puzzles. And obviously in the note we would weave in a story saying that, look, wealth management is like a puzzle. You got to put all the asset classes together, and it's not one size fits all. So we used to send a letter which was more customized, and then of course we also send reports to a lot of prospects after understanding what their interest would be. So for example, if there is an IT professional, a senior IT professional who we think can be our dream buyer, as an organization, we do a lot of research on various sectors. So we would send them something which is relevant to their industry. And then we would ask, do you want us to set up a meeting with our research analyst to understand this report better? Or should I come and explain this to you? So at some point, if you do that regularly, I have found that at least they call you for that first meeting, and that's really the breakthrough you want.
I love that. How are you sending them those reports? Is that just cold email? Are you doing on LinkedIn as well?
We've been sending emails. Our dream buyers find it very, very informative. Other than that, Amanda, we also send out invitations for certain interesting webinars or interviews like the one you're doing right now. So we found these kind of webinar invitations very effective as well to get prospects or dream buyers to engage with us.
I did that with you. I loved that event that we did. I think it was something like 500 of the Motilal Oswal staff all on. I've never had a company say, every single person on this call has not only read the book once, but read it 3 times. That was truly a mark that you understand the book to create that kind of pig-headed discipline in your training. I love that about Motilal Oswal. Can you talk a little bit about the training that you do internally with your staff? Because I think it's something that a lot of businesses could learn from.
I mean, whenever a wealth manager joins, this is one of the mandatory readings, the book Ultimate Sales Machine, written by a dad, Jet Holmes. But there are senior leaders in my team who conduct personalized training programs around the book.
I love it. I love that. It's so great. I had one question, if you're willing to tell me. I'm curious. So your average customer, how much is that worth to you versus a dream buyer like what you just landed? Is there a difference are they 2 times your normal client? What is the difference in value?
I mean, they would be around $3 million, an average relevant customer, right? And we try to run the Dream Buyer program around customers who are between $8 to $10 million. This was a very large account. This account was 20 times our average, 25 times.
That That's a good one. Worth the 2 years of pig-headed discipline, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow, I love that. Well, anything from going through it and as you have over the last few years that you've learned that you wish you had known when you first started doing these dream buyer strategies?
Your confidence in the program grows over time. So when I read the word the pig-headed determination and relentless pursuit, I mean, I guess yes, I identified with those words, but you really understand why you have to persevere once you see some of these successes, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was a revelation that the process works. I mean, you just have to be at it and uh, give it time and relentlessly persevere, so that give it time to simmer and ultimately deliver results. So I guess these were words to me, to be honest, but you really feel nice when you taste success, and it just gives you more confidence and I would say more conviction to run the program in a more pig-headed manner.
I love that. I really love that. It's just words on a page until you actually have the success. And I love also that, the idea of just spending on a pen or a Rubik's Cube, right? Or a puzzle, the ROI of sending that once a quarter to somebody for 2 years is way worth having tens of millions of dollar client come in, because it's just different from everyone else. It just creates, which is the whole point, that top of mind awareness, so that as soon as they say, okay, yes, I'm ready to buy, I'm finally in that buying now category, you are the first person that they think of. And this is a great example of that. Thank you so much, Ashish. This has been so lovely. And I look forward to more successes out of Motilal as well.
Absolutely, Amanda. It's been a real pleasure interacting with you today. And like I said in the beginning, I want to reiterate again that we've greatly benefited from your dad's book, Ultimate Sales Machine. And like I said, it's part of our DNA now. And I mean, it's really great now to be interacting with you. And we'll probably do a session sometime soon, like the one we did earlier.